Welcome back. Jeremiah Shalukeni is the life coach, part of the organizing team of a week-long boys conference that's taking place in Okahandja this first week of July 2024. The camp/conference is to empower young men through leadership development and service to their communities. With support from the Namibian government, this conference aims to inspire boys to contribute positively to social and environmental change. Jeremiah now joins us telephonically to elaborate. Jeremiah, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to have you.
Jeremiah, talk to us about what inspired the organizing of this boys conference.
Literally, the relationship between men and boys, the impact of men in society. So we're looking at the future where men are brought up as leaders. Men are brought up as fathers, responsible leaders. So inspiration came from all the negative impact that we as men have left in society. So we decided to take it upon ourselves to raise boys, to raise leaders, good leaders for tomorrow. This is the most inspirational thing, or the most valuable contribution we can give back to society. We can say sorry for the impression that we gave as men.
Talk to us, Jeremiah, about the key goals and perhaps some themes of the conference this week.
Cutting a bit.
Can you hear me now?
We are at the farm, so the network is quite a bit challenging.
We understand. Are you able to hear me clearly now?
Yes, now you're very loud and clear.
I was asking if perhaps you can elaborate on what some of the key goals for the conference is, and also some themes that might be taking place this week.
The key goals is actually to bring out responsible men from these boys, to teach them how to be confident, to teach them how to speak for themselves, to teach them how to confidently address a woman, address their parents, So we want to bring out a responsible leader out of these young men. Yes. And, we do it through values, for example, like choices, like responsibility, accountability, for them to be able to take accountable for their choices. We want to teach them that failure is not final, but failure is for you to learn, so that when you go back to such a situation where you failed, you don't accept it, but you change it. That every choice has a result. And if you choose a negative result, it brings you a negative consequence. So it's for them to change that. And also, with the rate of suicide among men, gender-based violence, we want to teach them how to be emotionally intelligent, how to manage their emotions. That men will obviously have to go through life, will obviously have to go through everything. So if they are not emotionally intelligent, then the rate of suicide, gender-based violence will keep increasing. So it's our aim to have these men emotionally intelligent, confident, and able to, handle situations. Yes.
Speaking of the high rates of suicide amongst men, and we've seen the headlines and the stories in local newspaper and media outlets, and it's become quite a concerning issue. Will there be a session specifically dedicated this week to speak to the young boys on, mental health issues and bring some awareness to them?
Yes, there will be. We'll definitely have one. Actually, we had one of the Miss Namibia top 10 finalists. She was we just concluded a session with her now. She was just touching on mental wellness and how they can manage their emotions. So the lineup is every week we invite a different coach, a different speaker just to come in. We also had Jericho today. He came to just inspire the boys, motivate them. So it's definitely one of those key considerations that we've made.
Fantastic. Well, it's a week-long camp, so I'm sure you've got a lot of activities lined up for the boys. Talk to us about what you've got planned for them.
We've got, obviously, fitness, mental, physical fitness. We've got entrepreneurship. We've got transformative masculinity, and obviously also the bullying and addressing those issues that they're facing in schools. So, and also respect within their parents. And finally, it's not all about just learning and hard work, and also we intend to also make it fun. So we decided to divide them in groups, and on the last day they will have a cook-off where we'll teach them how to cook, and they'll be able to prepare the meal for the coaches. So it's actually fun. It will be fun, and the legal aspect also will work them through their rights in terms of the Namibian constitution, as well as the crime and how society expects them to behave. So through that, we invited the Namibian police to also just come talk about gender-based violence and crime prevention.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite exciting for us. So we also, every night we have a bonfire session where we just reflect, because you just can't teach. They should also be able to learn, to apply, as well as teach others what they picked up from these daily sessions that we are having.
That sounds incredible.
We'll also evaluate them by short tests, and yeah, it's quite fun.
How were the boys selected to participate in the camp, Jeremiah?
It's generally through application, but we don't have specific requirements, so to say. We look at those that are really in need, those that need, it's up to a parent to really know their child. Or some parents don't think they know their child, but they don't really know their child. So some parents refer those children to us. We've also worked with different project schools where we're partners. We have the boys leadership clubs at those schools. So some came from those schools, and some were also from orphanages, and they saw our advertisements on social media. So yeah, that was the process of selection.
How do we go about measuring the success of camps and conferences such as this, Jeremiah, and how do you build upon it in the future?
It's literally, it's not a result that you can expect tomorrow. It's something that you build upon. So this is over the weekend from Friday, we had the BLC 2023 Phase 2. So this was for those that attended Phase 1 last year, 7 days, and then 3 days. So in total, we have 10 days. So the Phase 2 is just to reflect on how we as a team has impacted their life, how we are able to change their lives through the BLC, the Boys Leadership Camp. So this year as well, we are planning to have a BLC 2024 phase 2. And we also go back to the schools. We talk to the life teachers. We have a close connection to the parents. We keep up with the boys. Through this process, we are able to identify those that are really showing good results, or those that are really not following through. So we focus on them. So this is a way that we are able to make sure that where we are failing, we change, we strategize, we look for another way to implement our programs. But so far, the results are positive. Parents are giving us good heads up. The community is happy. Yes.
You obviously mentioned earlier, Jeremiah, what it is you hope to impart to these young boys as they're attending the conference this week. So what impact do you hope that this conference will have, not only on the lives of the boys, but the communities that they go back to?
Yes. Yes. This is, like I've mentioned today, it's that it's never too late to change, and it's never too late to take a step. So this is the step that we are taking now. Our community will be much more safer. Our community will be obviously protected because our men are now emotionally intelligent. Our men are now emotionally strong. They are leaders. So it's obviously our future leaders that we are looking up to. So if we start now, the future is definitely guaranteed. We are guaranteed success.
Jeremiah, just lastly, before I let you go, how can other community leaders and government support similar initiatives to empower boys?
This is like we always say in the African proverb, it takes a community to raise a child. So these boys are our boys. They are not only for 4x4, they are not only for the Namibian government, they are our boys. So through projects like this, the aim is to extend them to the rural areas where the rates of poverty is very high, the rates of education is very low. So we intend for the government or private entities to invest in such activities for us to be able to reach out to more boys, to reach out to actually the entire youth. We shouldn't be having boys, the rate of graduation low, or boys in the street, while we have initiatives like this. So we are literally giving a service back to our community. So it's up to the community, it's up to the government, it's up to the private institutions to be able to support us, to be able to invest in such projects, for them to even bring their kids to us so that they can see the positive impact, the results that we have on this, from these camps.
Well, Jeremiah, on that note, thank you so much for your time this evening. All the best for the rest of the week. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. All the best.
That was Jeremiah Shalukeni on the line, speaking to us all the way from a farm around Okahandja, as the 4x4 initiative has planned a week-long boys camp/conference to empower the Namibian young boy child. We'll be right back after.